after the international break. Of course, Zinchenko was out and said he might be fit for after the break, and obviously Thomas Partey as well, getting sent home from international duty with an injury. How are you looking? How are those two looking?
We just finished the last training session. Obviously, we had many players arriving yesterday, so we had a short period to prepare the match, but the boys look in good condition.
Perfect. Thomas Frank said after the Brentford game that he believes you're ready to challenge for the title. I'm not going to ask you whether you think that, but just how much confidence is your squad feeling at the moment, and what is the mentality like with that squad right now?
The mentality doesn't change, that we have to go game by game, that we need to look to get better and improve in many areas that we have to get much better at, and being humble and at the same time really ambitious is our way forward for us to achieve what we want.
Antonio Conte was giving you a lot of praise the way you've started the season, and what about the way they've started the season, because they are just 1 point behind you and it's been a pretty impressive start for Spurs?
Yeah, not only the start, obviously the journey that they had since Antonio joined as well, and how things change, and the team that is building, and a very clear identity that they have in their way of playing. Obviously it's really impressive, so we know that I think both teams expect a really tough match tomorrow.
I suppose you don't need any extra motivation for a North London derby, but I just wondered, are you going to be using the game against them at the back end of last season as motivation to take into this game at the Emirates this weekend?
I just think, as you said, I think it's all about emotion and just willingness to get to that moment and have enjoyment. It's the nicest game of the season by a mile, for what it means to our supporters, for the history of it. And now as well, because looking at the table and where the football team wants to be, becomes a really important match. So I think the world is excited.
And just finally, there's a couple of players potentially their first North London derbies. Have you told them about your experiences, about what it's like to play in this fixture? Have any of the other players done so?
They know what to expect.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you again.
Thank you. They are part of the team.
If that's the case, then it's Scotland said to come back here. Is that what then he got the balance? Good instruction, good collaboration.
I think what we all want is the best for the player, protect the welfare of the player for sure, have the player in the right mindset, have the player ready physically to play for the country, to play for the club, and the best way to do it is if we have a good communication and he's honest and he's transparent, and with Scotland, that's the case for sure.
Both teams have a few injury doubts, but there's 9 games this month. Unbelievable set of fixtures. I know all the players want to play in this particular fixture, but is there a little bit of risk given you've got game Thursday and game Sunday?
You have to go game by game and then form performances, how players are physically or mentally will dictate how much you use them. But for sure we're going to need everybody. As you said, the schedule is hectic and very, very demanding, and we need to think carefully how we're going to use and load the players.
A few of your players, Mikel, in stadium, one of them, Gabriel Jesus. He's obviously watched Richarlison score for Brazil. But there's no better game, is there, just to show the Brazil coach to score against Tottenham Sunday? What are you setting? Obviously, might be a little bit disappointed missing.
First of all, understand how they are feeling, how they have taken the news, how it's hit them, how can we use them to help them in their benefit, and just put the head down, take it in the chin, and the only thing he can do is try to play at the level that he's been playing, or better, to make things more difficult for the national team. That's it.
You've played for so many big teams around the world, and you've played in big derbies. What makes this one so special?
Many things. I think you have to feel attached and belonging to the club, and when you have that feeling and then you understand deeply the history of those derbies, how both things were historically created and what has happened over the years, then it makes it so special. I think it's a very special city, it's a really special country, very passionate fans, and it's a great atmosphere to play.
A member of your staff gave a powerful team talk ahead of that game last year. You get everyone involved. Will you be taking it this time, or is there anyone else be doing a special team talk ahead of this game tomorrow?
Depends on the moment, but obviously we have so many people here that they've been here much longer than us, that their feelings towards the club, it's even deeper than us, and I thought in that moment it was the right thing to do for someone that is with us every day and knows the place and knows what it means to express how he was feeling about it.
Just finally, on the Neil Smith Rowe, obviously there is disappointment. In a sense, is there kind of a positive knowing that hopefully when the surgery goes okay, that you'll have it back after the World Cup?
Hopefully, yes, and we have to make a decision. We could not continue with that uncertainty. Do we have him? We don't have him. We don't have him in certain conditions. We need to put a line and draw a line. There we make that decision. The player was the first one demanding almost that he wanted an end decision, and we supported that, and now we have to prepare him to get back stronger than he was.
Just on how would you expect it to be out for 2 months?
I don't know. After a surgery, it's very difficult to give a timeline. The first process, how the bones healed, how is his first reaction? Is he in pain? Is he not? How is he adapting? We need to go step by step. Obviously, we know that before the World Cup, it's not going to be easy to be, and after that, we have a break, and we need to use it in the right way.
Gabriel Jesus, how did you convince him to sign for Arsenal from Tottenham? Because they was interested in him as well. So what did you say to make him come here from your rivals?
We, the first one, Edu, had a talk with him to express what the project was, what is our club about, the role that he would have in our club. I spoke to him, so it was a team effort. He clearly understood what we wanted to do. Obviously, the relationships that we had with them helped a lot because there is that trust and that connection already, and then it's completely up to the player to decide.
Was you fairly convinced though that you was going to get him?
We were really hopeful, and his immediate reaction was extremely positive. But after that, there are a lot of steps that have to go in the right direction to finalize and get a player to sign for the club. But to be fair, Gabi made it pretty easy for us.
Antonio Conte was very complimentary of you and Arsenal yesterday. He said you're a better team than last season. So do you agree with him on that?
Well, first of all, thank you, and hopefully we are. But the next few months will unveil that. But we want to get better than what we are today as well.
William Saliba has been very impressive since he joined. Do you have any hesitation about playing him in a North London derby against Harry Kane and Newcastle?
No, this is football, and Willie has shown over the past few months that what he's capable of, and that doesn't mean that line is always going to be in the same direction, but he's been so good that from my side I have no doubts.
You can't take that out of his game, can you?
Yeah, it's a thing.